where does this game rank on your totem pole of games in terms of just atmosphere and places to go and everything that surrounds it?
I'll probably say top 10. In all the games I played, it's always a great atmosphere, and every year it decides whether we go to the SEC Championship or not, so it's a really big game.
Andrew, what do you think about Florida's defensive line? They have 29 sacks this season, and they're getting John Greener and I think Jabari Zuniga back. Have you guys been preparing for them?
Yeah, we've been preparing for their whole defense. They wreak havoc, is what we call it. They get a lot of sacks, turnovers, things of that nature, so we have to be prepared, making sure we're on our assignments.
You guys have done a pretty good job with Zuniga in the past, but obviously they bring Grenard in on the other side. What does that add? What is the presence of another pass rusher on the other sideline scrimmage? What kind of pressure is that on an offensive line?
All those guys from Florida, they're very fast and athletic in the pass pro game. It makes our job harder, just passing off twists and things of that nature, keying on the linebackers, things like that. But I think we're going to be prepared. We've been working on it. We have some really good guys at outside linebacker here that help us get ready for those guys.
Where do you see Jake Fromm's confidence level kind of following, both South Carolina and Kentucky and the performances he had with those?
I don't think Jake's confidence level has changed. Jake always stays level-headed regardless if we're playing really well or if we're not doing well. And I think that's what makes him a great leader because he stays the same all the time.
What has he been saying to you guys heading into this weekend with it being such a big game?
Everybody's just saying that we got to stick together as a team. This is a big-time game and we're going to be ready for it.
There's been, I know it's an outside noise kind of question, but there's been criticism of Jake and whatever. He's a guy that I think you guys have always kind of gravitated around, been a leader. You all kind of trying to rally around him in any way, or do you need to support him at all in this?
That was the biggest thing after South Carolina. Coach Smart said that we had to come together as a team, so we're embracing everybody. We got what we got, and we're going to play hard with who we have. Jake has been doing an amazing job for us past 2 years. He's going to continue to do the same thing.
Did one of the players this week, and I can't remember who it was, mentioned something about a speech that Jake gave after South Carolina or something? Did he have one of those come to Jesus moments with everybody? Do you recall that?
I'm not necessarily. Just before team meetings, sometimes the leaders will get up and say a few things to the team, how they feel, like what they think we need to work on before the next week of practice.
Right.
I had talked to Swift the other day, said he'd take someone out for chicken wings on Thursday. Is that will y'all do that tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely. That's a tradition. We've been doing that since I think my freshman year, American Deli on Thursdays. Yeah.
Does he pay for every time?
Not every time.
Yeah. What you're a little pepper guy?
I like Buffalo. Yes.
What's as far as the complexity of the Florida pressure schemes? How many do they have? I mean, how sophisticated is their front?
You really can't count. It's kind of like our team, like when it comes to third down, we call them odd exotics. There's guys coming from all over the place. They have different pressures with the safety is coming from 15 yards back. So we're just trying to watch a lot of film just to be able to key on it when it happens.
And then just as far as their ability to get the pass rush without the blitz, what about those edge rushers? What do you see on film that sets them apart?
A lot of times they get to the quarterback with just 4 people rushing. So that shows that they're very fast, athletic, and good at what they do.
Is it
Did you
also
say
though?
odd exotics? I'm sorry.
Yes, odd exotics. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is a lot of 4-man rushes. I've heard and seen before. So is it a matter of they really mask where that 4th guy is going to come from a lot of times?
Yeah. Sometimes they'll hide who's coming, and sometimes it'll just be a 4-down rush, and then they just think they can beat you with their guys. They're very fast, and then sometimes they twist you.
Was Florida on your radar coming out of high school?
Not really.
When it wasn't a place you would consider. There's a lot of crossover in the recruiting in these two. Do you know a lot of those guys, or is it
No.
do you feel familiar with?
I don't know, man. I never took a visit to Florida.
Is noise ever a factor in this game, in that stadium? I know it's got the 50-50 mix.
We've been working on crowd noise, but from my experience the past 2 games, I never really, felt like it was a problem.
Does it feel any different in there? Kirby was talking about it the other day. He said it was like a pro environment. Does it feel different than a college environment to you too?
Yeah, it does, because usually you go to a away game, you go to the other schools, like small little locker room. It's kind of a different atmosphere, but you go in there, it's like a really nice locker room. When you go out there and see like all the fans split half and half, it's pretty cool.
Was the 2 weeks between games, how much was that beneficial for you guys offensively to kind of crank it up another notch?
It was big for us. We honed in, tried to make sure we fixed our execution, making sure everybody's on the right page. as offensive line, getting back to our technique, our fundamentals, the things that make us play well.
How important would it be for you to finish your career? I guess you haven't lost to Florida. This is your third year, and you've got to project it pretty high. How important would it be to finish your career without a loss to Florida?
It's very important. This game, like I said, it's a rivalry game. It means a lot to us, and it'll be great, to go 3-0 against those guys.
Solomon there next to you, I know this is kind of a home game for him. Does he talk about what it means to him down there?
Yeah, you could tell on the field. Saul always has so much emotion. I got to almost like pull him off the other guys because he's from Duval, so it's a big game for him.
What's been the biggest test for you personally in terms of matchups in your career, in terms of pass rushers that you've had to go up against?
I would say my freshman year when we went to Auburn, that was probably my roughest time against Jeff Holland.
You said your what time? Your
Roughest time,
roughest?
yes.
Okay.
How'd you do the second time around?
Played very well the second time. Yeah.
What did you do? So do you learn things when you play a guy like that? I mean, your takeaways?
It's just when you play guys that pass rush really well, a lot of times you try to get out of what you're used to, what you've been taught. You try to do extra things that you don't need, and that's how I was. And then the second time I came back, I just trusted my technique and played my game.
What do you think you do especially well? If somebody asks you why you're so successful as a left tackle.
I think it's technique. I have other attributes, but I think being consistent in your set with your hands, all that things, it makes you a good, left tackle regardless of who's rushing.